Hi, my name is Ayanna, and this is the day in the life of a journalist.
The best suited individuals for journalism are definitely ones who are super curious, folks that are ethical, having high communication skills, and also someone who is self-motivated and capable of being in high pressure, high intensity work environments, but still can keep their cool. A naturally gifted storyteller. The first thing that I love to do is just pick up an actual hard copy of the newspaper and then just start sourcing some stories. I'm constantly in pitch meetings or just looking for new story ideas that we could develop into documentaries or some piece of IP that we can find for scripted. So I'm just keeping track of what's in the works or what's already been published.
I studied at the University of Delaware in mass communications and also in broadcast journalism with a minor in African American studies and political communications. And I've been driven by telling stories of people of color, racial intersectionality stories, the redemption stories, and getting into development journalism was just the total right fit for me.
In order to get started in this industry, if you're interested in doing something in broadcast, a lot of these major have what are called news associates programs, which are amazing opportunities for folks to get hands-on experience. So internships are where it's at. It really truly is a foundational experience. So the typical path for a journalist is getting your foot in the door through an internship and then making your way up from there. And then you're going into maybe a more seniored role. So then that's taking on something as an editor. And then from there as well, you might actually be someone who's running the newsroom in a sense. And from there, you become an editor-in-chief. A typical salary range for someone in my position is anywhere between 80 to 120K. And opportunities, obviously, for more money are dependent upon your role as you become more seasoned.
The biggest thing that goes into prep work for a story or a pitch is really just establishing what our access is. So how a story comes together, it starts right here, which is I am scrolling through our archives, taking meetings with folks who are interested in to really start to figure out, okay, this would be ideal to package and put together. Really great update is that, so we have a scripted project that we are taking out to market, and we just got some really great news that it's doing well from the pitch meetings that we've had. And so we are hoping that project will have a home soon.
Some pros of being a journalist is that you are literally at the center of holding truth to power. It's a dynamic career path too, and you're really just someone who is at the center of shaping just how the world views particular things, whether domestically or internationally. Some of the cons of being a journalist is that crazy hours, it's high intensity, and it's very competitive.
I've got a lot of different meetings with different folks on various different projects. So it's really just balancing, keeping on task, and managing responsibilities, prioritizing that these stories move forward without being rushed or oversimplified, and they just make sense. There's so much that is going on in the world today. We're up against AI, we're up against deepfakes, we're up against a lot of varying things. Be a journalist today, it truly is just knowing how to be dogged, how to be 100% fact-driven, know that your voice matters. So we're 7 o'clock, done with the day. Gonna take a little brisk walk to the Whole Foods and then hit the train.
Thank you for joining me for a day in the life. If you like this content, subscribe to Indeed for more.